Hello, a voice softly spoke beside him. Leo glanced up to see an elderly man with kind eyes and a gentle smile seated on the bench next to him. The man wore a well-worn coat and held a small, battered notebook in his hands. Leo nodded, struggling to find words that could adequately convey the turmoil within him. The old man continued, "I've observed many people come and go in this park over the years. Some are here to celebrate, others to mourn, but you are not alone in feeling lost." The words lingered in the air between them, offering an unexpected solace. Leo took a deep breath and asked, "How do you move forward when everything you've worked for is gone?" The old man chuckled softly, "Ah, that's the question of life, isn't it? We all encounter moments when our dreams crumble. Yet, sometimes losing one dream creates space for another." Leo listened intently as the man continued, "I once owned a bookstore just around the corner from here. It was my life's work, a place filled with stories and dreams. I poured everything I had into it. Then, a fire, swift and merciless, took it all in a single night. I stood where you are now, watching the smoke rise, feeling like my world had ended." He paused, his gaze distant. "For weeks, I was lost. The smell of burnt paper haunted my dreams. But one day, sitting on this very bench, a young girl came up to me, crying. She had lost her favorite book in the fire. We talked for hours about the stories we loved, the characters who felt like friends. In that moment, I realized something profound. The building was gone, but the stories, the connections, they were still alive. So, I started this," he said, tapping the battered notebook. "I began writing down stories, not just the ones from books, but the stories of the people I met right here in this park. Their joys, their sorrows, their small victories. I became a collector of moments instead of a seller of books. My purpose shifted, but it didn't disappear, it transformed." Leo looked at the old man, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. He had been so focused on the closed door of his failed business that he hadn't even considered looking for a window. The old man's story was a simple one, yet it held a universe of wisdom. It wasn't about ignoring the pain of loss, but about finding a new way to channel the passion that once fueled the old dream. "What was your dream?" the old man asked gently, his eyes inviting Leo to share his burden. "My dream was to build things," Leo began, his voice barely a whisper at first, then growing stronger as he spoke. "I had a small construction company. We were building affordable homes, creating communities. A bad investment, a trusted partner who wasn't so trustworthy. It all came crashing down. Now, I have nothing but debt and a reputation in tatters. I feel like a failure, a builder who couldn't even build his own life." The old man listened without interruption, his expression one of deep empathy. When Leo finished, a heavy silence fell between them, but it was a comfortable silence, a space for healing. "A builder," the old man mused, "you see failure, but I see a man with a skill, a passion for creating. The company is gone, yes, the finances are a mess. But does that take away your ability to hold a hammer? Does it erase your knowledge of how to lay a foundation? The essence of who you are, the builder, is still right there." He gestured around the park. "Look at this bench. It's old, the paint is peeling, but it's sturdy. It serves its purpose, someone built it with care. Look at the pathways, the way they guide people through the trees. That's a form of building, too. You've been looking at building on a grand scale, the scale of a company. But building can be small, it can be personal." He opened his notebook to a fresh page. "What if you started smaller? What if you found a piece of wood and built a birdhouse, or helped a neighbor fix their fence? What if you offered your skills to a community garden to build raised beds?" The act of creating, no matter how small, has a power to heal. It reminds your hands and your heart what they were made to do. Leo considered this. The idea seemed almost too simple, too insignificant compared to the scale of his previous ambitions. A birdhouse, after building entire homes. But as he thought about it, a strange sense of relief washed over him. The pressure of rebuilding an entire empire was crushing, but the thought of simply making something, one small thing, felt manageable. It felt like a first step. The old man smiled, as if reading his thoughts. "The tallest skyscrapers start with a single beam. Your new life can start with a single nail. Don't focus on rebuilding the past. Focus on building today. Build a moment of peace. Build a new connection. Build a single, beautiful thing. And see where that takes you." He then tore the blank page from his notebook and handed it to Leo, along with a pen. Write down one small thing you can build this week, not a business plan, not a 5-year goal. Just one thing. Let that be your new foundation. Leo took the paper. For the first time in months, the future didn't feel like an insurmountable mountain, but like a patch of empty ground waiting for a new seed. He looked at the old man, his heart filled with a gratitude so immense it left him speechless. The old man stood up, his joints creaking slightly. I must be going. My wife will be waiting. He placed a gentle hand on Leo's shoulder. Remember, the story isn't over just because you've reached a difficult chapter. Sometimes, that's where the best part begins. With a final, warm smile, he turned and walked away, his small notebook tucked safely back in his coat pocket. Leo watched him go, then looked down at the blank piece of paper in his hand. The pen felt unfamiliar, yet hopeful. He thought for a moment, the sounds of the park children laughing, birds singing filling the silence in his mind. Then, with a steady hand, he began to write. He wasn't just writing a word. He was laying the first stone of his new life. And as the ink flowed onto the page, he wrote, "A bench for the park." It was a small start, but it was a start. He was a builder, after all, and his work was just beginning. Sometimes, the wisdom we need most comes from the most unexpected places. If you're feeling lost, remember that even when a dream crumbles, the dreamer remains. The skills, the passion, the heart, they are still there, waiting to build something new. Maybe not something bigger, but perhaps something even more meaningful. What's one small thing you can build today? Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the resilience of the human spirit. And remember, if you're struggling, talking to someone can make all the difference. There are resources available, and you don't have to build your new foundation alone. We'll see you in the next video.